Good morning, students. Now I am going to discuss about next topic in organic chemistry, that is classification of organic compounds. Organic compounds are classified into two types. They are open chain compounds and cyclic compounds. Open chain compounds means the atoms present in straight line. Cyclic compounds means the atoms present in cyclic rings. These open chain compounds are also called aliphatic compounds. Aliphatic compounds, that is another name for open chain compounds. Now these open chain compounds again classified into two types. They are saturated compounds and unsaturated compounds. Saturated compounds are alkanes. These unsaturated compounds again classified into two types. They are alkenes and alkynes. Similarly, cyclic compounds also classified into two types. They are homocyclic compounds and heterocyclic compounds. Again, homocyclic compounds classified into two types. They are benzenoid compounds and non-benzenoid compounds. This is all about classification of organic compounds. Now I will discuss each and everything. First one, open chain compounds. See, the definition is what? The compounds in which carbon forms bonds with another carbon atom or other atoms to form straight chain or branched chain is called open chain compounds or are aliphatic compounds. That means carbon forms bonds with other carbon or other atoms to form chains or branches. What is the meaning of branch? If you see the example, then you get idea. See, these are the example. In first example, this carbon forms bond with another carbon as well as with the hydrogen. This carbon also forms bonds with another carbons as well as with the hydrogens. If you see this compound present in straight line. That is, this is open chain compound. If you see the second example, in this example, if you see the second carbon, this carbon forms bond with this carbon and also with this carbon. Now this is called what? Branch. Why it is so called? Because this part is present in straight chain, but this part is not present in that straight chain. That is why this is considered as branch. In third example also, this OH present on this carbon atom is what? Branch, because this is also not present in straight line. So that is called, if any substance, if any atom or group of atoms not present in straight chain, that is called branch. So what is the point here? Open chain compounds means if carbon forms bonds with other carbons or other atoms and forms straight chains or branches, those are called aliphatic compounds or open chain compounds. Next one, saturated compounds. Saturated compounds means, here the definition is the compounds in which single bond is present between all carbon atoms. That means single bond, nothing but sigma bond should be present between all the carbons. That compound is called saturated compound. See, this is the example. Unsaturated compound means the compounds in which at least one double bond or triple bond is present between any two carbon atoms is called unsaturated compounds. In this case, in first case, that means in saturated compounds, definitely single bonds must be present between all carbon atoms. But here, between any two carbons, either double bond or triple bond must be present. Then only those compounds are called unsaturated compounds. See, these are the example. In this example, double bond is present between central carbon and terminal carbon. Here also triple bond is present between fourth carbon and fifth carbon. So these are what? Unsaturated compounds. I hope you understand. Next one, cyclic compounds. What is the definition for that? The compounds in which carbon forms bond with other carbon atoms or other atoms to form rings. In open chain compounds to form straight chains or branches, but here they form rings. Then only they are called cyclic compounds. See, these are cyclic compounds. See, these joints are what? Carbons. Around carbons, hydrogen atoms are also present. Here, see, this oxygen forms cyclic compound here. This oxygen bonded with this carbon, and here also this oxygen, and this oxygen forms again bond with this carbon. Total this oxygen present in this cyclic compound. So this is about cyclic compounds. Next one, homocyclic compounds. Homocyclic compounds means the cyclic compounds in which carbon forms bond with another carbon atom only. These are called homocyclic compound. Homo means what? Same. That means in that cyclic compound only carbon atoms must be present. Other atoms should not be there. Suppose, take this example. In this example here, in those giants, carbon atoms are present. On carbon atoms, hydrogens are present. Similarly, in this case also, carbon atoms are present in all giants. On carbon atoms, hydrogen atoms are present. So these two compounds comes under this category, but this compound does not come under this category. Why? Here this oxygen present in cyclic ring. That means this carbon and this carbon both forms bond with oxygen, so that this compound does not come under this category. This comes under heterocyclic compounds. Now we are discussing what? Homocyclic compound. So what is the definition for that? The cyclic compounds in which carbon forms bond with another carbon atom in that ring. That is called homocyclic compounds. Next, heterocyclic compounds. Hetero means what? Different. That means different atoms should be there in ring. That is why they are called heterocyclic compounds. Then what will be the definition? The cyclic compounds in which carbon forms bond with another carbon atom or other atoms is not or and the carbon forms bond with another carbon atom and other atoms is called heterocyclic compounds. See, this is the example. In this example, here in these four positions carbon atoms are present, but in fifth position, in this position oxygen is present. So heteroatom is there other than carbon, so that this comes under heterocyclic compound. This is also heterocyclic compound because oxygen is present in the ring. Those are heterocyclic compounds. Next one, aromatic compounds. Aromatic compounds means here there are three rules to show aromatic character. First rule is 4n plus 2 pi electrons. Second rule is conjugation. Third rule is each carbon undergoes sp2 hybridization. First rule is what? 4n plus 2 pi electrons should be there. That is the first rule. Second one, conjugation should be the third one. Each carbon should undergo sp2. If any rule not obeying by given compound, then that compound is not said to be aromatic compound. To show aromatic character, these three rules should be possessed by given compound. Suppose where n is what? Integer. Suppose if n is 0, then how many pi electrons? 2 pi electrons. If n is 1, 4 plus 2, 6 pi electrons. If n is 2, then 10 pi electrons. If n is 3, then 14 pi electrons. If n is 4, then 18 pi electrons. Like that, we can calculate number of pi electrons in a given organic compound. That is the first rule. Conjugation. Second one is conjugation. Conjugation means what? Double bonds present in alternative positions. Double bonds present in alternative positions, that is called conjugation. Third one is what? Each carbon undergoes sp2 hybridization. When each carbon undergoes sp2 hybridization, if that carbon forms double bond, then that carbon undergoes sp2 hybridization. See, this is the example. This is what? Benzene. If you see this benzene, it contains how many pi bonds? 1, 2, 3. That means it contains 3 pi bonds. 3 pi bonds. Each pi bond contains how many electrons? Either sigma bond or pi bond. Any bond contains 2 electrons. So 3 pi bonds contains 6 pi electrons. So first rule is obeyed because here 6 pi is present. So that is obeyed. Second one is what? Conjugation. Conjugation means what? Double bonds present in alternative position. See, double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond. So this is called what? Alternative position. That is called conjugation. So second rule is also obeyed. Next, third one is what? Each carbon undergoes sp2. See here, how many carbons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each carbon forms double bond. If you see clearly, each carbon forms double bond, so that every carbon undergoes sp2. So this compound obeys all these rules. So this compound is said to be aromatic. That's it. This compound also comes under aromatic. Why? It also contains 3 pi bonds, nothing but 6 pi electrons. In this compound also double bonds present in alternative position, so that conjugation takes place. Conjugation is possessed by this compound. Next, which one? Each carbon. Here also all carbons forms double bond, so that all carbons undergoes sp2. So this is also comes under aromatic compound. That is about aromatic compound. Next one, anti-aromatic compound. Anti-aromatic compound. Here also 3 rules are there to show anti-aromatic character. They are, first one is 4 and pi electrons. In previous case 4 and plus 2 pi electrons, but here 4 and pi. Second and third are same. Second one is what? Conjugation. Third one is what? Each carbon undergoes sp2. In previous case also second and third are same. Here if n is 1, then 4 pi electrons. If n is 2, 4 into 2, 8 pi electrons. If n is 3, 12 pi electrons. That means to show anti-aromatic character, either 4 pi electrons or 8 pi electrons or 12 pi electrons or 16 pi electrons, so that those pi electrons should be there along with these two. Then only that compound said to be anti-aromatic. This is the example. If you see this example here, how many pi bonds? 2 pi bonds. Then how many pi electrons? 2 pi bonds contains 4 pi electrons. So first rule is obeyed. Second one, double bonds present in alternation position, so that conjugation, it also obeys conjugation. Next, each carbon forms double bond. If you see this compound clearly, then each compound forms double bond, so that all carbon undergoes sp2. So these 3 rules are obeyed by this compound, so that this compound is said to be anti-aromatic character. This is all about aromatic and anti-aromatic compounds. Thank you.